So the thing about Pink is, back in the day, she used to be fun, upbeat. It was almost music that you could dance to. But over the years, she's kind of gotten less angry and more sentimental, which makes sense. She's married, she's a mom, so, some of that anger just kind of calms down that angst that you would have back in your younger days. And although I've kind of not really been paying attention to her music much since maybe she's 2012, I have definitely still been keeping up with what she's been doing and the music she's deciding to make now. And I decided to check out Pink's new album, Trustfall. This is an album, I think, her first in, I want to say, 3 years. And this album is definitely starting to get to the softer side of Pink. As for the most part, you get a lot of soft songs, piano driven, and even if there is like a beat in there, it's not necessarily like anything that's like bombastic, gonna make you get up and dance and do all this stuff, because there's definitely still electronic elements, just not a whole lot of it. Some of my favorite tracks on here are When I Get There, which is the opening track, which again, most of the time an opening track, it tries to be like, not necessarily the heaviest, but the loudest to kind of gain your attention. But this is just a nice, I think, piano ballad that flows well into the next song, which is the title track, Trustfall. I believe it's the longest song on here, and it definitely does carry on for probably way much longer than it should, but it's a nice song nonetheless. Kids in Love, which features First Aid Kit, was nice. I like the way hers and Pink voices just go together very, very well. Then we have Runaway, which was another one that I think the chorus was actually really, really good. One of the reasons I like the song. And Just Say I'm Sorry, the album finisher, which features Chris Stapleton. I mean, Chris Stapleton, he's one of the few country artists, or at least of this generation, that I actually do enjoy, because he mixes a lot of like blues rock and other kind of southern elements in there. It's not necessarily the same generic bullshit and country that you would hear when it comes from him, and I thought him and Pink kind of doing this duet-y style vocals were very nice. There were some songs that I found to be just okay, like Long Way to Go featuring the Lumineers. It doesn't do much in terms of just, being there and I guess filling the track listing. Lost Cause and Our Song are also two that I was kind of feeling very indifferent on, but nonetheless didn't really hate or love. And then that brings us to our least favorite tracks, or at least my least favorite tracks. I don't know why I said our. But we have Turbulence, Never Gonna Not Dance Again, Last Call, Hate Me, and Feel Something. Last Call, I will say, kind of, teeters on the old Pink, which is kind of like being sarcastic, like, ugh, waiter, drink please, or whatever. But, I don't really feel like I can, see that from her anymore. It doesn't feel as genuine as maybe it once did back when she was in her, younger partying stages. Plus, the problem with this album is that these songs are short, but they feel like they drag on for way too long. Like, the whole point of these shorter songs is to get, stuck in your head very quickly, but here I'm sitting through most of these and just going, alright, is it over yet? Oh, it's a 3-minute and 5-second song and we're only a minute in. Jesus, I thought maybe we were 2 minutes in already. But no, you feel like this album carries on for way longer than its actual 43-minute runtime, because not a whole lot of things interesting really happen. Is there high spots? Yes, but even my favorite tracks on this record, I wouldn't even say are really some of my favorite Pink records, or Pink songs. They're just some of my favorite off this album in particular that maybe I'll go back to, maybe I won't. I don't know, I really haven't made that decision. But with Pink, she just, again, keeps falling more and more off my radar, and I don't know, I don't want to retire her for the sake of she's still doing something different with every record, so it always gives me something new to talk about. It's not just, the same stuff over and over again. But I haven't really cared in a long, long time, probably since I was in high school, about another Pink record, because she just isn't as fun as she used to be. And although I will say, she does sing, very nicely. I'm not saying oh, she's going into more of the, singing territory, which she's terrible at. No, she's always been good at that, and I like the fact that with these piano ballads, it shows it off more. But I don't know. I guess that I'm a fan of the angry Pink more than the sentimental Pink. That's just my preference, I guess. Nonetheless, this album wasn't terrible, but I can't necessarily give it a passing grade. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10, like a very high 4, where we're teetering on the edge of it just being okay to maybe even good, but I just could barely get through this thing at some points in time, and even the high points, I was just like, okay, that was good, but I'm still expecting more to come, and you never really got what you fully wanted. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on this record. You can tell me in the comments below what do you think, and until then, stay safe out there, and I will catch you all in the next one.